Hey guys, welcome back. I'm Maggie and this is Maggie May Crochet. This is a series of videos created for absolute beginner crocheters. This would be video number 4. In today's video we're going to learn how to do a half double crochet. This sample is what we did last video. Video number 3 we learned how to do a single crochet and a slip stitch. This is what we'll be creating today. This is a half double crochet. I want to show you the difference in the two swatches. They are the same number of stitches across, but the sizes are a lot different. With each progressive stitch that we learn, the stitches that we're making are going to get taller, so our swatches will become bigger. This is a single crochet, this is a half double crochet. The next video will be a double crochet. Now for reference, I am using a size K hook and a number 4 worsted weight yarn. Oh, you can hear the birds in my yard. It is a gorgeous day and I have my windows open. I wanted to video outside, but the lighting changes too much with the cloud cover and things. So we're indoors, but you can maybe enjoy the sounds of the outdoor with me. So what I'm doing right now is creating my foundation chain. If you'll remember, all of our projects need this chain to begin our crochet. All of our stitches will be made in these chains. So I'm going to make a chain of 17. Okay, so I have 17 chains, and if you'll remember, the way to count your chains is to count the number of V's that you see. Each V is one chain. Okay, so to create your half double crochet, you will yarn over and put your hook into the third chain from your hook. This would be chain number 1, chain number 2, this is the third chain. So remember, we've yarned over, I'm putting my hook into the top loop of the third chain, bringing the yarn through, and I should have 3 loops on my hook. Next we'll yarn over, turning my hook over and bringing that yarn through all 3 loops. That's a half double crochet. Now we're going to be placing a half double crochet into each of the chains all the way across your yarn. Yarn over into the top loop of the next chain, bring it through, 3 loops on the hook, yarn over, draw it through all 3 loops. Yarn over into the top loop of the next chain, draw it through, 3 loops are on your hook, yarn over, draw it through. Beginner crocheters sometimes have a hard time finding where to put their hook for their next stitch. You'll notice how much larger this space is here. If you bring your hook into the next hole or space, you'll see now this one has the larger space. So you're just moving over space to space to space. Yarn over into the top loop of that chain, bringing it through, yarn over, pull through. Okay, I'm coming on to the last chain in my row. I'll create the last half double crochet. When you get to the end, you chain 2 for your turning chain. In the single crochet we only chained 1, but in the half double crochet, because you can see our stitches are getting taller, we need a taller turning chain so that our rows are the same height. So I've created my 2 turning chains. I'm going to turn my work away, and now I'll be creating half double crochets across in the other direction. Now this turning chain is going to serve two purposes. It gives us the height we need for our next row, and it's going to count as the first half double crochet. If I were to place a half double crochet into this space, which would be the first space, I'll end up creating a bump on the side. So this turning chain is going to count as a half double crochet so that we have a nice straight edge here. So I will not be going into the first V because this is going to act like the stitch that would go into that V. So I'm actually going into the second V. I'm wrapping the yarn around, going into the V, remember both segments of the V, grabbing my yarn, pulling it around, yarn over and pull through 3 loops. Yarn over into the next V, drawing through all 3 loops. Yarn over into the next V and pulling through. When you first start crocheting, it's a good idea to count your stitches. You want to make sure that you are doing the correct number. If you do too many or not enough, then you're going to have an odd-shaped piece of work. So I've just counted my stitches and I have 15. There should be 16 in this particular sample. So I know that I need to place one more half double crochet, and it's going to go into the top chain here of my turning chain. I did 2 turning chains at the end, and I will need to place one of these half double crochets in the top chain of my turning chain. So you can kind of help figure out where that is too by tugging on your work. You can see that this half double crochet is in this chain. See it pulling through here, and then that would mean that this is the top of the chain, the turning chain. If you can kind of pull it up, you can see that if it were laying horizontal, this would be my top chain. So I'm going to yarn over, put my hook through. It's always a little challenging. There we go. You want to make sure it's through 2 loops of your yarn so that you have a nice strong edge. Now there's my 3 on my hook, and then I'm pulling through. 2 chains for my turning chain and turning it around. Okay, again, my turning chain is going to count as my first half double crochet. You can see it's coming out of this chain here, the top V. So I'm skipping this V and I'm going into the next V. And this is where it can get kind of dicey. So this last V, I will make my half double crochet there, and then just to confirm and to make sure that I have enough, I'm going to count through to make sure that I have 16. If I don't, then I do need to go into this turning chain. I know I don't, but I want to show you so that you can see and how to confirm as you're just starting out. So I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 half double crochets. So that means that I have to place my last half double crochet in my turning chain that we started with the last row. So you'll see that I have 1, 2 chains here. These are my turning chains, and I'm going to place my half double crochet in the top loop of this turning chain. Okay, just like that. To finish off, you just do a chain, and then I like to do one more chain just for good measure. Pull it so you have a little bit of a tail here. You want to have quite a bit of extra when you're finished. I'll show you how to weave your ends in another video. I like to hold on to it here so that my knot is as close to my work as possible. If I were to pull it, the knot could end up here, so I hold the knot down at the end of the base of my work and just tighten it like that. This is your half double crochet.